Well folks, it looks like yet some more AIB partners are adopting the whole GC-HPWR connector situation, just like ASUS. Who you might ask? Let's get into this. Hi everyone, it's your boy Tech back in here with some more tech news. We're fresh off the heels of Computex. I was watching the videos that pop up from all the YouTubers, I'm sure you all have as well. And a lot of good, cool stuff been shown on Computex 2025. Some things I'm even looking forward to. You know, we all had some other announcements from multiple vendors, cases, more GPUs, all the other usual stuff. And I'm actually surprised that they didn't do AI like they did last year. So I'm good to see that change. Anyway, back on topic. We all are familiar at this point with ASUS adopting their own version of hidden high power connectors, or a safer way to do 12V power connectors that are in the 50 series GPUs. So ASUS called it GC-HPWR, and pretty much what they do, they implement something like adapter or socket on the motherboard, if I'm not mistaken, or something that's like a swappable adapter to connect to your 50 series GPU, and it's supposed to be a safer route as far as powering your GPUs, especially the power hungry ones like the 5080 and the 5090. Now, we thought that they were the only ones going to jump on this bandwagon, but it looks like yet another NVIDIA partner called Colorful. If you've heard them before, they make both video card models for both AMD and NVIDIA, if I'm not mistaken. And I think they might have some Intel, but I think they mainly NVIDIA and AMD. But they are implementing their own version of the GC-HPWR connector, and it's similar to ASUS with a little bit of twist. I think what they're doing is making it swappable, like having a swappable adapter to switch between the regular 16-pin and the GC-HPWR connector, and they're making some other adjustments as well. I'll leave the article link below so you could get more in depth, but I'm just doing like a top-down summary on what I read in the article, and is on videocards.net, and I think is on also WCCF Tech. So Colorful is inventing something called the GC-HPWR connector switch, or swappable adapter. That, as I said just now, allows you to switch between the regular 16-pin 50 series connector and the actual safe route that allows you to hide your cables and not worry about like bending the cables to have the whole meltdown situation that's been going on with NVIDIA GPUs. So it's kind of cool. They have no release date yet, but I know they're like probably, from what I've seen from the information in the article, it looks like they're probably about 70 to 80% done before they announce the release date. So that's kind of cool, but what I'm more really interested in is other vendors are adopting their own version of the GC-HPWR, and one of the ones I saw on Computex that caught my eye is Sapphire. If you heard Sapphire before, you know they're like one of the go-to top of the line brands that make really quality GPUs for AMD on the AMD front. And I think they just started about making motherboards as well. So I'm not sure how the motherboards are, but I know they always tend to make solid GPUs from even way back when they were with ATI. If OGs know what I mean when I say ATI. But other than that, their Sapphire is calling their version or iteration of the GC-HPWR, they're calling it Sapphire PhantomLink. So this implementation of how the motherboards look for the PhantomLink that Sapphire is using for the GC-HPWR looks really cool. It actually looks cooler than the Colorful one to me, but it looks like more and more AIB partners from both camps, Team Red or Team Green, are adopting different ways to safely mount your GPUs that happen to have a HPWR connector or 12V HPWR connector. And Colorful is doing the adapter switchable or swappable thing, and Sapphire is putting it on their like an actual socket on their motherboards. I don't know, I'm looking forward to see when they get released so I can see if it actually works or how it works. But they're putting an actual socket on the motherboard, and then the video cards have a little thing on the bottom in front of the usual PCB that you slot into the PCI 16 slot. The thing is a little bit in front of it that you slot in, and it kind of connects with the whole Sapphire ecosystem. So I'm guessing they're probably aiming this towards the Nitro Plus, because you know the Nitro Plus, current iteration of Nitro Plus has the 97XT, has the 12V HPWR connector. hidden behind the backplate, which we thought was everyone thought was the coolest design, because you hide the wires. So it's like their take on the BTF thing that Asus implemented a while ago or recently. So I'm looking forward to see how colorful ones compares to the Sapphire. I'm looking forward to see when both of them get released, because if it's as good as the articles making it seem, that both iterations or both versions on both on the colorful side and Sapphire side looks really, really promising. So I don't know if y'all ever knew someone or had an issue yourself with the whole melting connector stuff from back in the 40 series. I think it was a 4090 that was doing it, and I think some high-end 4080s, and now we see the whole issue on some of the 5090s as well. So let me know down below if you yourself or someone you know below has experienced this whole melting connector shenanigans that happened in the last year or two. Also let me know what you think about these new iterations from the vendors of their BTF connectors for the HC power connector. But until then, this is boy LockTech signing out.